Good evening, everyone. I thought it would be ladies first, but since she's taller than me, I'll start. Um, my name is Kabelo, and my surname is Ramatlapi. I am 23 years old. I was born and bred in Alex, which is Alexandra Township, just a couple of minutes away from here, actually, but it's one of the poorest townships in South Africa. I was raised along with my two sisters, my cousins, and my grandmother, my grandfather. So there was actually about 11 of us in a two-roomed house. I grew up there, went to primary school in Alex, right up until grade 7. And then I was lucky enough to get given a bursary to go and study at a high school, in fact, right here in Sandton, Sandown High School, just about 5 minutes walk from here. I went to high school in Sandown, not knowing enough English or good enough English. I couldn't speak English that well because of the primary background that I come from. And so it was a bit tough for me to get through high school simply because of that fact. I mean, going to a high school of that sort, you get to meet people who've been speaking English pretty much their entire lives. And I just hear and see English on TV. So it was a bit difficult, but I managed to adjust, and I completed my matric and passed with really good marks. And like any other young South African, life started, and I think the difficulty of life started because here I am completing my matric, but I do not have the funds to continue with my education. I couldn't go to university. So the only option I had was to either sit at home and do nothing or find a very low-paying job. So I heard about call center training, and I registered to do a very short call center training course. And luckily, immediately after the course, I got a job to work as a call center agent. And I started working there, and I really loved working in the call center. I mean, talking to people is always fun. Even if sometimes people complain, people are angry, people do all these things. So I worked at a call center. We started off, I started off doing inbound, which is, a lot of people always think inbound is easier than outbound. So we did inbound, and I performed very well, and then I was promoted to do outbound, which is, it's supposed to mean that you get a better job, but outbound is more hectic than inbound. So we had to do sales, call people off the cuff, get them to buy products and whatnot. So I worked there for 3 years. And in that 3 years, I kind of realized that there wasn't any growth. I mean, I was working there every day and earning the same salary. There was no option of growth because I didn't have the qualifications to get a better job or to even get a promotion in the company. So I decided that I needed to go back to school to further my education because I loved the call center industry so much. Hopefully, I would do something better than just being a call center agent. So I got out of work in October last year, and then I sat at home. I heard about a very beautiful institution that I attend right now called the Maharishi Institute. It's a very beautiful university, a virtually free university that's in South Africa, run by Dr. Blecher. So I registered, and luckily they accepted me, and I registered and did the course. Well, I'm still doing it right now. It's still my first year. But I'm studying towards a Bachelor of Business Administration degree, and I'd like to major in the field of the call center industry, telecommunications, or business process outsourcing. That's how they call it. Yeah. So, thank you. So, part of the work that gets done at school is that they teach us about being confident individuals and seeking to perform better and achieve better for ourselves and for the people around us. And earlier on today in the conference, they were talking about the effect of young people who are disadvantaged getting education that is of a very high level and ultimately changing the lives of the people around them. And I've had an experience of that sort because my uncle was like me. He completed matric and couldn't do anything. And luckily, he was also able to go to Cedar City campus, which was also founded by Dr. Fletcher. And he completed his BBA there, and he works right across the street at Nedbank, the head office, business banking, and he's doing very well for himself. And that has kind of encouraged us and the people in my family as well to get educated. So from now on, we can't even think about poverty because we have been helped through education to improve our lives. And that's something that I think we must just clap for. Dr. Fletcher has done a lot for us. But something else that I learned or that we do or that happens at the Maharishi Institute is that there's what we call invincible outsourcing. It's a company that is part of the Maharishi Institute. And what I learned about that, because when I left the call center industry, all I knew about call centers was being a call center agent. And what I thought was that's where it ends. I mean, the most that you can get out of being in the call center is being a call center team leader or even a call center manager. So I got to MI, the Maharishi Institute, and I learned something completely different. I learned about the bigger picture regarding call centers, how broad the call center industry is. What are the careers you can get into in the call center industry? And that has helped me kind of make a decision about where I want to head when I complete my education and when I want to go further in school. So this invincible outsourcing has kind of broken these perceptions about a call center just being an entry-level job. But it has made me realize that there's much more that I can do within the call center for myself and obviously for other people who will follow suit. So I just want to thank Dr. B and thank the Rockefeller Foundation for the work that they've done because they've changed my life. I'm looking pretty now wearing a tie right now. And they've done an amazing job. They've done a really good job. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matipiso Mutaung, and I am 21 years of age. I come from a place called Muletsane in Soweto. I come from a family of 6 siblings, and I basically come from a broken family. I live with my dad. My mom lives on the other side of Joburg. Okay, I started at the Maharishi Institute last year, so I'm finishing my foundation phase at the moment. Okay, basically where I come, like the township that I come from is that like a lot of youth are people who have lost hope of life. They basically have no direction. And I told myself that I really don't want to be in that situation and that I want to be an example for those who come after me and say, you know what, even though you come from a disadvantaged background, which I really hate saying because I think the moment you say I come from a disadvantaged background, we are strindezela, so to speak, you know. So I just wanted to become an example to other people. I heard about the Maharishi Institute via my friend who was already at the institute. I came to one of the award ceremonies, and I was really, really impressed about, like, you know, with the atmosphere that they have at the school. They've got this culture that we have at school. So I thought, you know what, I want to come here. Because after I finished my matric, which was in 2007, I worked for a company called PFM as a merchandiser, and it was hectic being a girl and carrying all these heavy things. It was really hard, and I thought that, you know, I really want to do something. Like, I knew that I was destined for something big, and something bigger than that. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to leave this whole thing of working and I'm going to go back to school. So Kabelo spoke about his background in working, but I want to focus more of my talk on the Maharishi Institute. Well, what's special about our school is that we use a system called the consciousness-based education, which we call the CBE. To simply explain CBE is that It focuses on the knower, which is the student, and the process of knowing, which is the education itself, and the known, which is the textbooks or the hardware that we use. With the current system, it's that they focus more on the process of knowing and the known, and they kind of forget about the student themselves. So the school tries to incorporate the student into all the processes. How they do this is via meditation, and we do asanas. So every day in the morning and after school, we do asanas and meditation. We do a technique called transcendental meditation. I personally feel that meditation, what it has done for me is that I am more connected to myself. I don't think 2 years ago I would have been able to stand here and speak to these people, you know. So through this technique, I'm able to connect to my inner self. I am more confident. I can talk confidently, and it also reduces stress. So when you come from home, there's a lot of drama and there's a lot of problems, but then as soon as you get home, you transcend, and during the day, you are able to focus on your schoolwork, unlike, focusing on all the problems that you have at home. And it also has tremendous health benefits, I might add. And, during the course of today, I've heard a lot of people speaking about the Monyetla program and the call center, and I felt like everybody in the room disappeared, and it was just myself, because I felt like everybody was talking to me, because I was part of the Monyetla program. Yay. I was part of the Monyetla program, and I passed it, and I've obtained my certificate in the Monyetla Work Readiness Program. So, and I've also worked at IO, Invincible Outsourcing. I've worked as a call center agent and also as a quality assurance. Yes. One of the things that I really, really loved about the Maharishi Institute, which just recently happened, we went to a place called Ezemvelo Nature Reserve. And at that place, we were doing a course where we were doing more of a personal development program. We were trying to find ourselves, and in that, I believe that I have found my purpose. I know who I am, and I know where I'm going at this moment in time. And I think in a simple way in which I can kind of explain my purpose, it would be I want to recreate God's as God created. I'm very passionate when it comes to working with young women and empowering young women who come after me. So I really, really thank the Maharishi Institute for actually opening my eyes, and for them making me, how can I put this, for them, because one of the things that I really love about the school is that the students practically run the school. We work at IO, we work at different departments of the school. So we are the people who actually run the Maharishi Institute. So they've made me realize my potential. I now realize that I'm meant for something bigger than myself, that I have a great purpose in the world. So I really thank Dr. B and everybody at the Maharishi Institute, and everybody who took the time to listen to me. Thank you.